Have you guys seen Apostle Lazarus?
Questions
Apostle
that
Femi
in my
Lazarus
experience
any
lead
videos?
people to a faith deconstruction. If God already has a plan, what does prayer do? What does it change? If faith
There
is
is
the
a
method for
wave of
various
something
different
called
religions, then how can we
deconstruction,
trust faith as a
where
reliable
people
path?
question their faith and try to renew their mind progressively. I want to say this is a good thing. Good, why? Because it's going to force preachers into intellectualizing faith, because we are intellectual beings. Don't get it wrong. And faith itself has been misunderstood in a lot of ways, because when God appeared to Abraham, God did not require faith from him. Rather, he used his senses when he knew that, okay, there is this supernatural being talking to me, who I believe should be the God of the Canaanites. And when he said he's going to bless me, I should ask him a question. Okay? You know, faith is something that comes after. He asks, okay, how am I sure? How can I be sure you will do these things for me? And God didn't count that as sinful or, and God did what he asked him to do by giving him a kind of, it's like a kind of agreement. So what happened between the father of faith and God was not even faith at the beginning. It was, okay, show me a sign. So that is why I want to say that the questioning of faith is not a bad thing. Do you know people who call it a bad thing? Those who have not studied their own supposed faith. They call it a bad thing. And that is why we have a lot of, there are stupid things, there are childish things that preachers preach, seemingly stupid, seemingly childish. And why it is so is that they themselves do not understand the construct of these things, because Christianity as a faith itself did not come from a void. It was part of an existing philosophy. Okay? It came from a yearning. There are people who understood that if there is a God with their own human mind, there are people who understand that if there is a power beyond what we see, beyond the power of the sword, beyond, it must satisfy certain conditions with their own human brain. And why is that possible? Because if you say that we are from God, we should have some intellect to be able to understand to an appreciable degree where we come from. Okay? So lazy people who don't want to study, they just come to you and say that, oh, don't ask questions, just faith. Because why should, I love people, some people are saying that Pastor Lazarus is deconstructing. He is not deconstructing. He is constructing a firm foundation. And what he's saying is that you people, the truth is that you people don't even believe. All of you people who are quick to say that, when you are, when you say some things and some people, the next thing they'll say to you is to try to scare you or to label you a sinner or to, because they themselves do not understand. Because if you understand the things you presume to understand, you would be, the drive, you'll be driven to explain, not to, it's not a thing of anger. You get what I'm saying? If you come to me and say that, your father is a thief, and I know that he is not, why should I be angry? All I would do is to bring out my fact, table my evidences. But you see people who get angry, I wonder why you're angry. So what Pastor Femi Lazarus is doing is that he's showing you, because you cannot say that you are learned for God's sake. and believe that and believe a lot of those things you pretend to believe. It doesn't make sense. You know, you just say, okay, Jesus, Son of God, how? And this, God, son. No. Because you were told these things from birth, you just assume it is there. No, it doesn't work like that. That is not faith. That is foolishness. You know, we need to start understanding that there's a difference between faith and foolishness. And all of these things you believe came from fact. Your icon of faith asked Lord, show me, okay, this thing you told me, give me a sign. It was not sign what he asked for. Like, it was more like, okay, we have an MOU. Okay, come and sign here. A lot of people don't understand this. They just, and do you know what? Do you know what I suspect? I suspect a lot of us are not sincere. We just want to go with the flow, the social, the social capital in it. We just want to be part of it, get along. And that is why in what we don't bear the fruit of the things we proclaim. Because the truth is that you don't believe. It's not, it's not as if you're stupid. It's not as if you're unintelligent to claim that you believe these things. The truth is that you don't believe, but you act like you believe so that you fit into the kind of, society you find yourself, that you're comfortable with. You fit into the system that you've been operating it in from birth. Each conformity. So let us know the difference between conformity and sincerity. Thank you.